up, Planeswalkers? It's your boy K-Dog. We're back in Standard here. This one we're taking a look at a Mardu control. So obviously control isn't something you think about in terms of Mardu, but there's lots of good removal spells and Planeswalkers, and I want to highlight kind of some of that synergy. So not really archetype that sees a ton of play. Every once in a while somebody will pop up with a list, but here's one because I haven't really seen in a while. And so the main reason to kind of run something like this is something like a Ruinous Ultimatum. It's pretty expensive here at 7 mana, double red, triple white, and double black. However, you get to destroy all non-land permanents on your opponent's side. It's not only to kill creatures, but it kills planeswalkers, enchantments, everything but lands. So that's pretty amazing. And so to get there, we need lots of removal and a little bit of card draw, and of course some powerful planeswalkers. So we got 3 eliminates here. Being able to destroy creatures, planeswalkers. Scorching Dragonfire, same thing. It also exiles as well. Just 2 copies here of Mazemind Tome. It gives us the scry or card draw. We can tap without having to pay mana, just to scry, or we can pay 2 mana to draw a card. And either way, we put a tome counter or whatever on it, and then once it has 4 counters, we exile it, and then we gain 4 life. So even against aggro matchups where it seems a little bit slow, you don't have to actually pay mana, and you still get to scry to kind of find lands or removal, whatever it is you're kind of missing at that point, and then you gain some 4 life. So it's never really a dead card in any matchup. 3 Murderous Riders here, the flexibility of course hitting creatures or planeswalkers, and then having the option to play it down as a 2/3 creature to maybe protect your planeswalkers, or to just have a life-linking body to gain some of that life back later on. It's pretty fantastic. And some flexible removal here and 2 Mortifies for artifacts, creatures or enchantments, and then Bedevil here, which we can hit artifacts, creatures, or planeswalkers. First planeswalker here is 2 copies of Elspeth. Typically she goes in like aggro style decks because she pumps up creatures with her -1 to give creatures +2/+1 until end of turn. But we can also mostly we're going to be using her for a -2 to get some creatures down on the board. If we've killed our opponent's board, then we can start attacking in, especially using the +2/+1 ability. And the thing that really makes her playable in a list like this is because she has Escape. So we can pay 6 and exile other cards. We don't have anything else in here that runs Escape. We're not running Croxa or anything like that. So Elspeth is our only thing that we can sync. So all these removal spells and things like that, we can just escape those and get Elspeth back on the board. And you could even do this like in the same turn where you -2 finish her off, make a couple 1/1s, or plus -1 to pump up your creature tokens or whatever, and then escape her, and then do it again and hit it for like a bunch of damage just with like some 1/1 tokens. So that's pretty sweet. We also have 1 copy here of Mangara. Not entirely sure he belongs here, but it's pretty interesting. Definitely a card I want to kind of play around with some more. It's a 4 mana 2/4 life linking creature that could be a source of card advantage. It's got 4 toughness here, so it's pretty reasonable against a lot of aggro decks. It's got 3 copies of Shatter the Sky, being able to wipe our opponent's board. To get to draw a card if they have a creature power 4 or greater, but we're not too worried about that. We have so much removal here. I was looking at 3 Solemn Simulacrums, but then cut it down to 2 and added the Mangara instead. We're not running a lot of basics, so I don't want to stretch ourselves too thin here. I want to make sure we actually get some value off of this on both sides. When it comes down, we search for a basic land, and when it dies, we get to draw a card, and it's a 2/2 creature, again, that can kind of protect our planeswalkers, or maybe attack into our opponent's life total or their planeswalkers once we've kind of cleared the board. A couple Elspeth Conqueror's Death, of course. Any kind of a white mid-rangey list wants to run at least a couple copies of this, and that's what we're doing here. Exile for 3 mana permanents or greater, and then getting our creatures and planeswalkers back. Even if it is just like a Solemn Simulacrum or a Mangara or something like that, or a Murderous Rider, that's fine as well. If somehow our opponent has captured this or whatever, so it goes to the graveyard. Because obviously if it dies, it just goes back to the bottom of our library, but they can counter it or something like that. We also got a couple copies here of Chandra, 5 mana, 5 loyalty. Most of us are going to be using her +1 to deal 2 damage to targets. Pick off creatures on our opponent's side we don't want to deal with, or just start hitting our opponent's face and picking with their life total. And once we're empty-handed here, we can use her for +1 for card advantage, being able to discard our hand, which is probably not going to have anything at that point, and then we can exile 3 cards from our library, and then cast any of those cards that turn. A couple copies here of Sarkhan, of course pretty powerful with other planeswalkers, being able to turn our planeswalkers into 4/4 dragons, and being able to have -3 to make a 4/4 dragon token as well. A couple copies here of Liliana, pretty amazing, make zombies, draws you cards when your creatures die, and can -4 to also be a removal for your opponent's creatures as well, making them sack 2 creatures. couple copies here of Chandra. Obviously, she can't be countered, so it's great against the kind of the control matchups. And then she can +2 to give your opponent an emblem, which they can't do anything about. It's going to chip away their life total as well. And then you can -3 as kind of a mini board wipe, and -X to exile a creature or planeswalker. And then the 2 copies of Ruinous Ultimatum. It's pretty expensive. It doesn't really work until the late game, obviously. Not something you want in your opening hand, so I think you don't really want more than like 2 copies. Mana base here. Good number of basics still for our one Fabled Passage for the fixing, and then the Solemn Simulacrum. So we got 2 plains, 2 swamp, 2 mountains. Trying to keep it nice and balanced here. Godless Shrine, Temple, Blood Crypt, Temple, Sacred Foundry, Temple, and then all 4 of the Triomes. All the fixing we can. We don't really have any turn 1 plays, so we're happy to have this in our opening hand. And if we do top deck this later and we already have tons of mana out, we're happy to just cycle this away and hopefully find some more removal, Planeswalker, or whatever. Alright, sideboard here. We got 3 Agonizing Remorse, 1 Spyglass for Nissas or Ugins, things like that, so our opponent can't activate their planeswalkers. Also shut down anything else with activated abilities might be worried about. But mostly it's for like things like that. A couple of Davriels again for those kind of mid-range and control matchups. Necromentia is another way to kind of help us get rid of like Ugins. Just exiles everything out of their library, etc. Or whatever other pesky permanent that we want to, or card of any type that's not a basic land that we want to get rid of. A couple Ashocks again to exile our opponent's graveyard. E2 Extinction for some targeted exile removal on creatures and planeswalkers. Extinction Event for a go-wide exile removal. 1 more Elspeth Conqueror's Death for those mid-rangey matchups. Thought Distortion for those control matchups like Bant Ramp and things like that can obviously generate quite a bit of card advantage. And so having something that basically just nullifies everything, because this can't be countered, and then it just exiles every non-creature, non-land permanent from their hand and their graveyard. So they're going to even get their planeswalkers back with like their own Elspeth Conqueror's Death or anything like that. And 1 Heliod's Intervention. Just nice little tech against enchantments, especially things like shrines, because a lot of people do like their shrines list. And Heliod's Intervention gives some additional interaction in addition to our. Alright, against Dong Cheadle. Ultimatum in our opening hand is a little awkward. We have a Temple to kind of help us scry, and then Sarkhan's obviously pretty cool. So if we get that aggro, we still have the Scorching Dragonfire. So we'll keep. And I think we just Triome into Swamp, so we can Dragonfire, and then we can Temple and kind of scry. From there, depending on what our opponent's doing and what we draw otherwise. Okay, Temple. Guess we'll just hold a Dragonfire still. Vantress Gargoyle. Wow. Don't need more lands. We'll keep this Triome to cycle it. Drawing all the lands. We'll just cycle on their end turn, see what they do. Make them think maybe we have a kill spell or something. Lotus Field. We don't understand why people run Lotus Field and like and these kind of like what it doesn't ramp you. Like what are you actually trying to get out of running it? It just, if anything, it only taps for 1 color, so what are you actually getting out of that? I don't understand. I'll play Sarkhan. Our opponent with the spam. So I don't like when people say hello and things like that. Some people are actually using it to be friendly, but it seems like most people are just trolls. That seems to be the case here. So we'll mute them. Okay, we can't draw cards, but we don't have a ton of card draw. We have the Mazemind Tome, but we're in Mardu, we don't have blue or anything like that. We're drawing a bunch of cards, so we don't really care too much about this in our set. We can kill it just maybe so they don't get to draw into anything. Okay, I have no idea what our opponent's up to. Alright. too much. Well, Chandra, let's kill this gargoyle so we can start swinging in. Can't be countered, and you have 1 mana open. Could have had more, but you played a Lotus Field.
Meditate and prepare.
Narset doing Narset things. I got a Kiora. That's cute. So you can Kiora can untap the Lotus Field, and you can do what here? You play your Ominous Seas. Cool. Unless you have a way to interact with our board, we have a 4/4 and 2 Planeswalkers that are going to turn into 4/4s, so you're kind of just dead on board. You're going to Spark Double your Kiora and untap your Lotus Field. That's super cute. I've got them on mute. Why is there still showing up? I don't want to see your emotes, dude. You're saying hello, but you're doing nothing. You're just playing Kioras and Lotus Field. Cool. Show them what we got. They can counter this, or they can spend mana to kill one of our Planeswalkers, and they concede. Alright, well, hello to that. I say hello to that. Well, obviously Shatter doesn't look too impressive here, so we'll take that out. Dragonfire is pretty awkward there. Pretty well the Elspeth, the Davriels. Yeah, what are they trying to... We're stuck on land, so we don't fully get to see what they're trying to do. Ominous Seas. The deck seems really cute. And they have a bunch of cards in hand, so I kind of want to bring in the Slot Distortion. I don't know that we take anything out. We have an E2 Extinction as well for some more targeted removal. Do we even want Mortify? It does kill their Ominous Seas. A little bit heavy on 3 drops, but that's fine. We'll try like this. I don't know that we need Agonizing Morse. And we have the Eliminates to kind of help deal with their 3 mana Planeswalkers. Might just be better. We'll see. So we have the Eliminate, and we have the Mazemind Tome, and the Temple can kind of scry us some more lands, so we'll keep. Basically, need to get up to 4 to get this Solemn Simulacrum down. We can get another land, and should be able to be good to go from there. Alright, let's see what emails. There we go. Alright, land please. I like it, but can't keep it. Okay, now they're going to get their lands. Birth of Melitus. Oh, Mazemind Tome, so we can scry into some lands. We'll see what they do first before we start scrying. They do nothing. Nope. We will absolutely take a plane. It's perfect. No reason to kill their wall. Now we kind of need a second black for that, and we also need a second white for Elspeth. The Godless Shrine probably be pretty ideal. Triome. Do we want to try for untapped? No, we'll keep it. That's fine. Oops. There we go. Alright, so still have eliminates if they do find a planeswalker here, but they're stuck on one blue. So we'll see what they got. That's cute. So they're running a cute deck. So we could Elspeth, but probably just Simulacrum here. We gained 4 exiles, and I think we'll actually keep that. Well, this is going to take a little bit of time to get there, but we got the Simulacrum. Help us ramp. Let's go grab a black source. Swamp, please. If we draw untap land, we'll Thought Distortion whatever they have in hand, probably Planeswalkers. So they're stuck on blue. That's not what we're looking for. Alright, no reason not to attack. Swing 2. Temple, we have 6, so probably don't need another land here. And Bedevil. I guess we'll take that. Could have a counter spell, but that's fine. They want to counter our Chandra. Well, resolved immediately. Alright, we'll just plus, hit you for 2 more. So once we kind of empty our hand, we can kind of go from there. Okay, so you're trying to play Kiora, Spark Double, Lotus Field, and Tutelage. Like, are you trying to mill? Are you trying to ramp? What are you trying to do over there? Your deck doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Alright, this many cards in hand, especially if they're tapped out on blue mana. This can't be countered anyway, so it's fine. We'll absolutely use Thought Distortion though. Liliana's tempting though. But this will probably make him concede. What? Oh man, this is ranked gameplay. This is why ranked has nothing to do with your skills at deck building or playing. Like, okay, you're playing Into the Story. Like, where are you milling with exactly? You have the Tutelage, but no other mill cards. You have Citywide Bust against us. You can kill our Dragon token because it's going to put at sorcery speed. And Teferi Time Raveler. I don't know. Alright, against Rubio JP. Is that silver? Not sure why we're playing against somebody in silver. I think we just ditch a Sacred Foundry here. Play Temple or Fabled Passage. I think we should go for the Fabled Passage, get a black source. So if we do need to eliminate something, we can shock this in. Otherwise we can just Temple. Or we can always just Temple on 3 either way. Island, go. Swamp. Sarkhan. Alright, we just need more lands here. Sure, we'll take a swamp. Okay, Azorius. Another Birth of Naltis. So just another Ugin Planeswalker pile. Cool. It's a very interesting opponent. Let's go. So no reason to eliminate this. So we'll just Solemn, get another land. Now we have double white, double red, double black, so we'll just grab whatever. Godless Shrine, so I guess we'll grab a mountain. Alright, counter it. You're going to counter a 2/2 Solemn Simulacrum. Okay, let it resolve. Or they're just bluffing a counter spell. Next turn we have Sarkhan plus Godless Shrine. So obviously we're hoping for Chandra if they're running counter spells. If the Sarkhan resolves, it could be pretty decent, but we'll see. They probably have removal. I mean, they've played nothing but Birth of Malice, so we'll see. The Simulacrum was on stack for a minute, so which indicated they had some kind of instant speed spell, whether it's a counter spell or whatever. Arcanist Owl. This is just Azorius artifacts or something. Capture Sphere. Sure. Do we care about the owl? Not sure. we'll make a dragon token and then see what they do. I could Capture Sphere our dragon and then attack in our Sarkhan. So maybe plussing would have been better there. They went for all the glitters instead. They have no land to take out our dragon. Capture Sphere is a pretty medium card. Yeah, we'll keep our Sarkhan alive.
I will consume you.
Probably Shatter. I hope they got that aura on it. Hopefully they play another creature here. No. Alright, let's Shatter the Sky. I'll probably save the Triome just to cycle it. Yeah, a counter spell. Draw a card. Another Sarkhan. Alright. Yeah, play you. Uptick you. Get in for 4. Okay, opponent. Here you go. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We already have 7 lands. Probably don't need to play this out. We'll just hold up for cycling. Could have shocked in there to maybe cycle it. But we'll see. Stinging Lionfish. So we're getting some random matchups. Let's go and kill that. Might as well. I keep looking at that Capture Sphere, but it doesn't really do anything. So just plus and attack for 4. Our planes down first, cycle, see what we hit. Temple. Keep this other Sarkhan in hand, they probably have some way to deal with it. Banishing Light, maybe even Elspeth. Conquers Death. But we shall see. Brine Giant. Alright. Oh, I definitely want Liliana. Alright, so they can kill our Sarkhan next turn, maybe? We can get in for 4 with it. And we can play Elspeth to try to make a couple 1/1s that can block this.
Prepare yourself, Heliod. Heroes, rally to me.
Yeah, this is actually something I haven't, in playtesting, I haven't really experienced before. If you can plus Sarkhan to make these creatures, but then still activate Elspeth's ability to give those, to give themselves the +2/+1 ability. Okay, we'll chump block here, keep our planeswalkers alive. We'll see if that works. It's got Liliana to make them sack their 2. Alright, let's plus.
I will call the dragons.
Yeah, it does work. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just the way we drew it up. I remember at first I think there was some kind of a bug where it didn't work.
Fight.
But I think they got that squared away, and obviously that has proven to be the case. Alright. Yeah, Elspeth has been pretty solid. Oh man, what is this nonsense? Brine Giants. So they're just Azorius enchantments and artifacts. So probably want that. Take out the eliminates, I guess. So I want 8 extinctions. I don't want to go wide, so we can probably shave off at least 1. Shatter. I have enough creatures. I think we can probably leave 2 in. We have lots of other good target removal. Even Elspeth Conquers Death. It hits pretty much everything. Eliminate doesn't hit the Owl, but the Dragonfire does. Lots of other good removal. Mortify, Bedevil. And of course, Ruinous Ultimatum to kind of clean everything up that we don't have answers for. Or if there's somehow able to rebuild, or we just don't draw into our removal for some reason. Although we have so much removal, I don't really think that's possible. Alright, a little bit slow. Doing the second black source to get this Murderous Rider down, but their deck isn't very aggressive either, so I think we're fine. And of course they have a 1-drop this time. Alright, there's our black source, second black source. We can scry. Yeah, I'm not going to say no to a Sarkhan. I'm not going to say no to a Sarkhan. I've got 4 lands here, so odds are we'll curve out into it just fine. Get this Blood Crypt down, make sure we have double black next turn open to us if we want to kill something. Well, most likely we just Sacred Foundry. So we're 18, looks like we're taking 3. Could also just play the Murderous Rider as a 2/3 creature. That might be enough to kind of slow them down. Let's actually do that. I think that's actually pretty fine. These creatures are pretty medium, so not too worried about that. We got the Ultimatum and some other good removal here. The Elspeth doesn't really do anything. It's either these 1 and 2 drops. Shambling Suit. That can get pretty dangerous. So yeah, I think we beg and say go. So now we can hold up 2 extinction, probably wipe out this Shambling Suit. So it's a fun janky little card here. It gets power equal to the number of artifacts and or enchantments you control. Rousing Reed. I'd rather kill the Shambling Suit, but if they're going to target that, then I think we have to... I don't think we want them getting in with a big old flyer. Yeah, we want a 5th land. We could Elspeth, but we don't have anything to get back. Could Sarkhan, just make a 4/4. If they have removal, we have the Murderous Rider. Could Chandra to pick off this Eidolon. Just Sarkhan. That's kind of the most upside, I think. Make a 4/4 and just stay back. If they do kill, we have Elspeth Conquers Death. I was just going to go for Chandra here. And if we find a untapped land, we'll probably Chandra and just wipe the board. We'll lose our Murderous Rider, but that's fine. We keep our Dragon token. Cure Best of Sea God. That's a pretty powerful card, but it's not going to cut it. Alright, Chandra can come down. Lose our Murderous Rider, that's fine. Goes back to our library. Their board's empty. We hit for 8.
To the skies.
Oh, we got some fantastic follow-up. They're a long ways from this Cura. Well, they're up to 5, so they just need, what, 2 more? But with this board, they're going to be dead. Ooh, Banishing Light. On... Sarkhan, perfect. Nice swing. Elspeth conquers death with Banishing Light, get our Sarkhan back, and swing for 8 more. That seems pretty good. Could also just Chandra. I think with the Ultimatum in hand, we'll probably play out the Triome. Yeah, let's get our Sarkhan back.
We begin.
Oh, plus.
No pressure.
We'll make a dragon, then we can kill him next turn.
Magnificent.
Then it's 8. They have quite a bit to deal with here. If they get this down with hexproof and everything, we still have the Ruinous Ultimatum because it doesn't target anything, it just kills all the things. But they're a long way from that. Okay, 3 mana open. You have a creature you can attack into us. You're gonna Banishing Light. Our Sarkhan again. Okay, well we still have these 2 dragons. We'll hit you for 2. Give you another emblem.
Is this just me, or is it getting a
There we
little
go.
warm in here?
Alright, Mardu control getting it down. So it's pretty janky matchups, but hey, that's how it goes. It's a ranked play, so kind of anything goes. Platinum 2, this should be pretty reasonable matchups, but so interesting decks. Kind of weird that we got matchup against Azorius both times. Yeah, definitely done quite a bit of playtesting to kind of tune this. The Mangara is definitely something you could substitute pretty easily. Elspeth has been very powerful. Definitely have enjoyed playing with her, with all these other planeswalkers. Pretty fantastic that she works with the Sarkhan as well as she does. Of course, Liliana is fantastic as well, and Chandra. And then Ruinous Ultimatum, if you can resolve this, your opponent's just going to pretty much concede. You also have Liliana's Ultimate, which kind of does the same thing. And then just lots of good efficient removal. With the Triomes obviously giving us all the fixing, the Temples helping you Scribe. You don't want to run too many of those because then you're not going to be able to cast removal when you need it, but I think 2 of each kind of feels pretty solid. Also, you don't want to run too many Shocklands either because you're a slow control deck and you don't want to be shocking yourselves to death either. As all those aggro matchups can get push your life total a little bit too more than you would like. And sideboard. Obviously, a deck like this is pretty intensive on the wild cards. So if you have enough of these cards, you can play it. If you're not, it's gonna be a little bit of a stretch to try to craft enough of these cards to actually make it viable. But if you are pretty close, you can obviously there's some room to kind of substitute cards with like a similar effect. You know, Banishing Lights or you know, some things like that. So if you do have enough of these cards, you want to play this style of list, but you don't necessarily have everything that I have, you don't agree with it, sure, there's plenty of substitutions that you can make. But this is kind of how I felt comfortable running it. And obviously we won those matchups pretty handily. Obviously we doesn't win all the time, definitely lost my share of times, mostly just because you don't draw the right removal in time, because we have answers for pretty much everything. Mortifies, Bedevils, and things like that. So you have answers in the deck. It's just a matter of do you draw into them in time or not. And then just kind of having fun with Planeswalkers doing powerful Planeswalker things, and obviously getting the Ruinous Ultimatum to kind of go off and blow up multiple things on your opponent's side. It's kind of a casualties of war, but better, basically. It's a little more expensive, obviously, a little more mana intensive because it's no colorless, it's all Mardu colors, but yeah, it's a pretty sweet card. Doesn't really see a whole lot of play because it is so expensive. But in a list like this, where you can kind of take your time and get up to the 7 lands and kind of control the board. Otherwise, it's pretty fine. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, make sure you jank with a purpose.